We're starting with the Chiefs. Yesterday, we discussed the legal ramifications of Rashee Rice's sentence. Today, we're looking at the on-field ramifications and for what looks to be an impending suspension. We don't know what it's going to be, but we assume it's going to affect the start of the season. Here's the Chiefs' schedule, I assume, right?
Yeah, of course, for sure.
I just assume they're going to get it done before the Chargers game. Chargers, Eagles, Giants, Ravens. If it went a little bit longer, he'd miss out on the Prince and
the Lions.
Yeah. So, Nick, how do you think his sentence and impending suspension will impact the Chiefs?
Yeah, and so if people didn't see yesterday, and Wild's alluded to it, we talked about like the serious part of this and not football. So today we're going to focus on the football part of it. I still think if the Chiefs don't suffer any significant training camp injuries, they will enter this year with as strong, if not stronger, receiving core than they entered last year. Because last year, Xavier Worthy was, in the very, I know he had a good week one game actually against Baltimore, but he was a rookie.
Yep.
Hollywood had gotten hurt. Kelsey wasn't fully right in the beginning of the year. And so all of that, they did have Rashee, but then they quickly thereafter lost him. So I think that it will not be as jarring for Mahomes as I think it would be for maybe some other quarterbacks because last year they were so undermanned throughout. The real question is going to be, is Xavier Worthy going to follow the exact Rashee Rice trajectory from year one to year two? Because he did follow it in year one. Here's their Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. After week 10 through the Super Bowl, what both of them did. And then so they were both around 7 touches a game, almost the exact same yards per game. Xavier had more touchdowns. A couple of those were rushing. They weren't using Rashee in that capacity. And then how did Rashee look at the beginning of his sophomore year? He was through 3 weeks as productive as any receiver in football. He then, of course, suffered the injury in the Charger game. We haven't seen him since. And I know you poke fun at the end of the Super Bowl, and I understand that. But Xavier Worthy's performance in that playoff run, most notably in the Super Bowl as a whole, and I know he caught the long bomb when the game was out of reach, if that is the path that he's on, then they'll be fine. He and Hollywood, are fine. And then Rashee comes back, whenever he comes back, as the best receiver on the team. And then for the first time in a couple years, Brew, the Chiefs actually have a plus receiving core. Without Rashee, I think they will just have an average receiving core.
They'll be fine. They'll be totally fine. All right. And on many shows, I would be the Chiefs guy. He's from Kansas City. I'm just saying, I'm going to sound like I'm singing their praises because I really do like and respect the Chiefs. Obviously, I love Mahomes, but, that's Nick's block, and that's fine. They're going to be fine. Last year, their best receiver, Rashee, missed 13 games?
Yeah.
Their second best receiver, Hollywood Brown, missed 15 games. Their rookie receiver, who was so small, that he was kind of, sort of a project just because he's so small.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Even though he's got blazing speed and he was very good as a rookie. And they still went 15-2 with an offensive line that was a bit shaky with their best running back missing half the season, Isaiah Pacheco. So now I think their offensive line will be better. I know they lost Thuney, but, they got the guy from San Francisco, Brown, and
they think they're Jalen Moore. And they think Josh Simmons is going to start at left tackle.
Yep.
Yeah, their first-round pick.
So, I think they could have upgraded the offensive line.
Yep.
I agree with you that the receivers, Worthy, I do think he's going to take a step because he just got progressively better
over the course
as the season went on. He'll be better. The running game will be, fine. And, I just think that they're going to be fine. And then I think he'll get probably 4. I don't think he'll get more than 6. Maybe he will, but I don't think he'll get more than 6. Now, the schedule's tough.
That's what I thought you were
It's always tough for them, but it really starts
front-loaded.
tough.
I don't know if we can pull up the schedule again.
4 of the 6 are really tough.
And
games.
so I think I would be very surprised if he got fewer than 4, and I would be very surprised if he got more than 8. What is tough for Kansas City is the pre-buy is so much, in my opinion, harder than post-buy. Now, the Bills game is the 9th game, so you don't, but they lose that game every year anyway.
Yep.
But the Ravens, your toughest non-divisional
really
games are Eagles, Ravens, Lions, and those are all in the window when you expect, certainly Ravens, Eagles, him to be suspended, and Lions maybe for him to be suspended.
What is? I know we joke around about it, but you don't. Can you put it back up, Dust? Sorry, just to make it easier. You're not going to. I assume you're not going to predict the Chiefs to go undefeated, but
Probably not.
But it's fun. It's the same reason why I know the Patriots aren't going undefeated. It's like this week I see it.
Yeah.
What is, if you take off your kind of like Chiefs hat? What is the worst case scenario before the bye?
Worst case scenario before the bye, 5-4.
Okay, Brody,
That's the worst case scenario.
Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, you lose Eagles, Ravens, Lions, Bills.
Commanders, Bill.
And
I
mean,
look, I don't see this
Commanders.
happening.
I understand, but you know what I mean. Like,
I don't see that.
Can I paint one? Yeah. The Chargers game is in Brazil, so it's like it's the first game of the year. You're in a new place. It's almost
also
like
think for the Chargers it's huge. Like
yes.
Harbaugh's.
And if Rashee's not there, I could see that one. Obviously, the Eagles. The Giants should be a win. The Ravens, yes. The Prince. A lot of people think the Prince.
But hold on. But don't you agree?
So I'm at 2 and 3. I don't know.
But hold on.
No, worst case scenario would be 4 and 5.
No, but I
think so.
I don't think, and I guess what I'm saying is, I don't think it is possible if Patrick's healthy with Andy coaching for them to start a season 4 and 5. I don't care. You know what I like?
What were they a few years back when they really were struggling?
Well, so they didn't. So they started, I think, 4 and 3, and we were jarred by it. And they had a stretch.
3 and 5.
Right. They had a 3 and 5 stretch during the season when they went back to back. I think one of the years they win a lot of Super Bowls. They go to all of them. They run together. But I don't. You know what I mean? So like, I agree with you that like, if you go through it, you're like, oh, you could lose that. You could lose that.
There's less gimmies on the schedule.
But it is, to me, an impossibility that they do lose all that they could lose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so that's why I said I think what I would imagine their record is going into the bye. I think they'll be 7 and 2. I think they'll lose. I think they'll lose to the Bills because they always lose to the Bills. It's a fun game they play, and then they'll lose. Listen. Eagles, Ravens, the Prince, Lions, Washington. Those are hard games. And the Raiders, I think, will be better. Like, it is odd to have one layup in your first half of the year, and that's the Giants game.
Here's the thing. If there was a way for a team that's on the, bottom half of the NFL to beat the Chiefs, it would be with, get to Mahomes, disrupt.
Oh, you're talking about the Giants with the D-line.
Sure. That's the only, and try to win a game, 17-14.
But they may be coming off a loss. And I mean, possibly 2 losses. And then you got the Ravens the next week. I don't think they're going to take the Giants lightly.
Definitely don't think they would take the Giants lightly.
If they could be 2-0 with saying we have the Ravens coming up in 2 weeks, and you look like finally we get a breather and they get after them.
That Lions D-line is out of this world. I think it'll be interesting.
Who's D-line? The Ravens D-line?
No, the Giants.
Oh, the Giants D-line. Sorry.
The Giants, if they are
for sure,
as interesting as we think they could be. Yesterday, we're going to head to Pittsburgh. The Steelers made T.J. Watt the highest-paid non-QB in the league. He does contribute to winning. The Steelers are 1-11 in the 12 games that he doesn't play. So new contract, new weapons. All right, courtesy of the Rich Eisen Show. Brew more or less confident in the Steelers' playoff chances. Oh, what are you doing? It's not.
Oh, here we
it's
go.
not.
I have an announcement.
No, Brew.
Yes, let him do it.
Mid-July.
Let him do it.
I have an announcement.
Okay.
I am officially putting to bed the Mike Tomlin will have his first losing season take.
Thank you.
I'm putting that to bed.
Because that was. Go ahead.
I thought you might be on that.
No,
that
I'm saying thank you
curve.
because can we? It's mid-July. Can I break the fourth wall?
Yeah, sure. You got to talk to the camera then.
Okay. All right. I want to
say, hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone. I want to tell you guys something. When Rodgers was first connected to the Steelers, I said on the show, flippantly, I was like, if they sign him, Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season. I just said it, and we kept going. Like 2 weeks later, Brew was like, I have a take. I
don't even remember Nick
exactly,
saying that.
because Brew didn't remember I had said it. I don't even think he acknowledged. And Brew said, I think if Aaron Rodgers goes there, Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season. And I know Brew well enough to know that, like, he really liked that he was, like, first to grab that real estate, even though I had said it 2 weeks ago, but nobody remembered. So I have just seeded it. And every time Brew's been like, guy, you know what I've been saying? Tomlin's got his first losing season. It's kind of burned me a bit because I was like, that was my take. But now Brew's giving it up. I can have it back now. I can have it back.
Just one caveat before we go back to Brew. I know when you said that, I heard you say that, and I was like, he doesn't realize I said that.
No, that's a lie.
I'm the whole Aaron Rodgers hasn't over there. I said it, and I let you have it.
Okay.
And then you let Brew have it. But now
sorry.
I'm giving it up.
Okay,
it's
good.
yours.
All right, good. Go ahead.
Now, I think Baltimore's still winning the division.
Yeah.
I do not, no matter how much I like the Steelers, I mean, we'll see what happens in the regular season, but you guys know, Rodgers has had a ceiling, even when he was at his prime and playing like the best quarterback in the league and winning MVPs, of the NFC championship game or the conference championship games after he won that Super Bowl early in his career. So I don't think they're like a real Super Bowl contender. I do think they are a definite playoff contender. I'm thinking now, honestly, 11 wins. Wow. I mean, they won 10 last year, but I think 11 wins. And now my question is this in my mind.
Yeah.
Do I like them or Cincinnati to finish second? Because I really feel like 3 teams from the AFC West are going to make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
So 3 aren't going to make it from the AFC North. So I'm going now in my mind between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Look, I like the additions that Jonnu Smith, they're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets and all that with fire moves. I like that. I've been listening to your boy Peter Schrager talk about Calvin Austin's going to have a breakout year alongside DK Metcalf as a receiver. The defense we know is strong. What I really like, in addition to just some of the personnel, I like their approach so far. This like they believe.
They're all in.
And they're making me believe a little bit.
That part's true.
Right? They are like serious. This is no playing games. They really believe Aaron Rodgers will get them over the hump. And they're doing, you could tell by the way they're doing their personnel. So that, and Tomlin usually obviously wins 10 games anyway. Mm-hmm. And with this approach and Rodgers and some of the additions, I think they're going to be tough.
Can I push back on you with one thing that I've also heard? I don't know if Greg said it, so it's not the most kind thing in the world, so I'm not going to say Greg said it, but I've heard it, that DK is not the most disciplined route runner. And that might be.
That's not exactly me. You can. First of all, Greg did say it.
Greg did say it. Right?
It's not that. I thought it was like, man,
no,
but
it's just like I just don't want to be like, if he has a relationship.
No.
With it. I think Greg said it.
Yeah, Greg said it. That's DK is not a technician.
Right.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers wants things precise. So the idea that this is a match made in heaven, it might not work.
No, I think it might not be a match made in heaven. But with the run game, I think is going to be solid. The 2 tight ends. And I think he and DK will be good. Like, I think there'll be a connection. I don't think it'll be him and Devontae in their primes. But I think they'll be good enough. And then, again, maybe Austin or some other receiver will step up.
Yeah,
I'm not looking for Rodgers to throw for like 4,500 yards.
No, I get that. You just think he's an upgrade over what they had last year. Defense should be good, and you like the moves they've made this offseason. Yeah. I understand the logic.
I heard that narrative with the Jets, too.
That's the problem. So that's what I was going to say. A lot of it, and Rodgers is a year older. And Rodgers is in a new place. It is just, so much of this is just Scorpion and the Frog. He is going to sting you. And then you're going to be like, how could you? And it's like, well, how could you not expect me to?
That's exactly right.
And so I understand, adding DK, flipping out essentially DK Metcalf for George Pickens is an upgrade. Undeniably, that's an upgrade. They're similar receivers. One's better and way less of a pain in the neck. So I agree with that. Signing your best player and not having that be a distraction pre-free agency or pre-training camp is a positive, even if we think in 3 years, maybe that contract's underwater. And I'm not even saying we think that, but like for this year, that's a positive. I get all of that. I just think that they are going to be at a quarterback disadvantage in 2/3 of their games, if not more. Like, not the Browns games. There's 2, and I don't know if I forgot to ask Dust for the Steelers schedule. I don't if we have it pop it up. If not, don't worry about it. But I mean, you look at it. They should have the better quarterback against the Jets.
But just for the record, the Jets don't think so.
I know. I agree. I'm just saying they should.
You know what? We'll take your guy.
The first 3 games,
even
as much as I like Drake May, I'm just saying with the experience, first 3 games.
Right. So what I was going to say
we'll know right away.
After the bye,
yeah.
Do they have the better quarterback in any game they play other than the Colts and Browns? And my answer is no. And I think it's pretty undeniably no. Maybe Tua if it's cold. You know, like
That's true, but again, the Steelers for the last several years have been in that position.
No, I get that, but for the last several years they haven't been contenders.
No,
and you're not saying they're going to be contenders. Playoffs. Go ahead, Bruce.
We'll know right away. Like if they should be if I'm right and they're going to be like a real contender for the playoffs, it should be 3-1 going into the bye. If they're not 3-1, I mean, I guess you could 2-2 could, you know,
they
could
should
live
be happy
with that.
with 2-2.
Happy with 2?
No, not with that opening.
They're supposed to they're supposed to win at least 3 of those opening games.
They
should. 3 of the first 4.
If they're going to win, if they're going to get
and
to
then they got the
11
Browns.
wins.
Oh, they're not getting to 11.
They should be 4. They should be 4-1.
If Bruce Wright, you understand what I'm saying? Like their path to 11 victories is a 4-1 start, given that that's their opening 5.
Yeah. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Also, just as far as buys go, if I'm an old quarterback, I don't like a week 5 bye. I'm just getting warmed up, and then I've got the Browns.
And I do find it interesting that they are home dogs in week right now, because you just look at headlines. They're dogs to your Patriots, but that's on the road. They are home dogs to the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. Or that's a neutral game. So it's a neutral site game. That's noteworthy to me.
Where's that?
In Ireland. Oh. So they're, Vikings with J.J. McCarthy coming off 14 wins. The Steelers with Aaron Rodgers coming off 10 wins. They're slight dogs there. So that's something.
Interesting. Speaking of NFL, are we doing this or no? We have time, Dust? Yes? Wonderful.
Yeah, this is
NFL 100 countdown coming in at number 73 with a drop of 70 spots. It's a decent drop.
He went from 3 to 73?
3 to 73.
Because last year he was ranked ahead of Patrick, I think. Patrick was 4.
So I think so far this has been the furthest drop of anyone. This is how he's done overall. And now some years he's not ranked, so I guess if you have a further rank. But he went from the first running back and 3rd overall player in 2024 to now we don't know where he is in the running backs. We haven't seen anybody, but the 73rd overall player. So we're looking for a few bounce backs here for the team, for CMC, and for Purdy. Who's more important, CMC or Purdy for the bounce back?
I'm gonna say Purdy because he's the quarterback. Because if CMC is great but Purdy isn't, I think you're only gonna be so good. If Purdy plays like he did his first 2 seasons, and you've got, even though they don't have a top 27 receiver according to, executives in the league, they got a good receiving core, right? And Ayuk will be eating, and maybe Pearsall or Jennings and they're going to have a good running game even without McCaffrey. I think what he could help the most is the catching the ball out of the backfield. But if Purdy's playing really well, I just think he's more important. Because if McCaffrey's playing great and Purdy struggles, then you're only going so far.
But
I think the question, I bet you this is what you're thinking. Can Purdy be really good if McCaffrey isn't?
You are correct.
You nailed it. Perfect take.
It's more important that Christian McCaffrey bounces back because that means Purdy will be better.
Yes.
And Purdy, they traded for Christian 2.5 years ago. They traded for him right before Purdy took over as the starter. So when Purdy was a rookie, he had Christian there the whole time. that next year they were both MVP candidates when Christian had that historic season, scoring touchdown every game, basically all of that. And then last year, Christian was out and Purdy regressed for the first time. Now, a little chicken and the egg, I understand that piece of it, like as far as what the biggest reasoning was. But this is for this offense, for Kyle Shanahan's offense, for Purdy, it's the rare instance where the superstar running back, I think, is more predictive than the quarterback, because I don't think Purdy playing great makes Christian McCaffrey better. I think Christian McCaffrey is very simple. If he's healthy, he's awesome. You know what I mean? And so Christian McCaffrey being healthy and awesome then makes everything so much easier for Brock, because defenses will focus on him first and Purdy second. So my answer is CMC for what you said, because if he's great, I think it raises Purdy's level.
So what type of season you expecting from CMC?
11 games.
Oh, that's
11, really?
Yeah, I don't, again, it's always weird to talk about injury stuff, but I think that's the legitimate concern. Yeah.
Very interesting. I think I brought this up with Danny, so I'll just get your take on it. Every report that we've read, Barnwell, PFF, a few different reports have been like, well, when you look at the history, it's very numbersy, and it's like, I expect him to fall. But everyone, and granted, maybe they're looking at it through rose-colored 49ers glasses, but everyone that's around the team and players on the team are like, this guy looks amazing.
In Christian.
Yes. So there's the people that see him in real life, he looks great, and the people that are writing about him, like, he's probably going to be here. I'm starting to trend more towards...
Listen, I know people might not believe it because I'm not a Niners guy, but I like all-time... I think Christian McCaffrey's an all-time great talent. You know what I mean? Like, I think he hasn't had an all-time career. I root for those guys to have as many healthy years as possible to see what they can go get. So I hope that's the case. I just worry about
his career. Would agree with you.
Yes.
Like, just his resume.
But that
even before he got to the Niners.
But it would say, I don't know. I put the super-duper stars in another level. Derrick Henry, Saquon.
Well, age-wise, I'm with you. I'm just talking about, like,
age and durability.
That's been his problem his entire career.
Yeah.
Even in Carolina. Like,